Hello, it's Danielle here. I just wanted to try this for the first time, like a training way, a different way instead of text on the screen that everyone has to read. This is me riding my pony, Mikey, and one of his biggest problems is that he hates staying on the bit, during transitions especially. Here I'm riding him, I'm just doing leg yield and flexing him to the outside to prepare him for the exercises that follow. Bring him up into a trot now, and he's going nicely because I had been riding him prior to this. Don't worry about Mikey's tongue. His tongue's way big for his mouth, so he has no choice but to stick it out. You might see it as resistance, but trust me, it's not. Although he is quite a resistant horse to ride, he doesn't want to willingly do a lot. But the tongue isn't resistance. Okay, so I just warmed him up in a bit of a trot around, bit of lengthening and shortening, just testing the waters, as they say. And in this video I'm going to be sharing with you my tips that I find work well for horses that want to come above the bit during transitions especially. So here I'm making a 20-meter circle, and he wants to come above the bit when we turn. And that was a good transition to the walk. He's better staying on the bit in downward transitions than he is in upward transitions. But still, you need to do the exact same aids to encourage them to stay on the bit. And in the change of direction too. You need to be pushing them to the outside rein from your inside leg. And here he's coming around nicely, nice and relaxed. Gets a little bit tense going down the hill because he's not in condition. Bit of lengthening. You have to keep mixing things up a bit. You can't just be working on the one thing and bore your horse with it. That was a really good change of direction. I pushed him to the outside. And I think we're about to go into canter, which is Mikey's hardest transition for him. So that was really good. He didn't really move his head up at all, really. That downward transition, I sort of just let him fall back into the trot because that canter transition was so good. He's a bit high here just because of the change of direction. Now usually I would push the horse forward more, but because he's so out of condition, that wouldn't be the right option for him. So I just bring him back a bit more. He rathers that anyway. That's alright. It's okay for him to make a mistake. Don't get angry. Just keep going. He's doing well. Nice circle. Bit of lengthening. He gets a bit tense there when we want to bring him back, and he doesn't want to. He loves his lengthening. Only on a straight line on a flat surface though. No hills and no turns. While he's in this stage of coming back into work. This was like the second ride in. So. Okay, so that was a good transition I just made him walk for a few steps, literally, and then back into trot straight away, always pushing him to the outside. That helps him really stay in frame. That was a good transition to canter. Now, it doesn't matter if they're just a bit lazy and sluggish. At this point, we just want him to keep his head where we want it. We don't want him to be resisting. It doesn't matter if he looks like a Grand Prix horse. You don't want him to. That's good. Good boy. That was really good. That was the best transition he's ever done, I reckon. While coming back into work, anyway. Cantering's really hard for Mikey to keep his head down. See, I push him to the outside when I want him to come back to the trot. It helps him to stay balanced and keep his head down. And just let them have a break. Don't always ask for their head down, otherwise they'll hate you for it. They're allowed to poke their nose out when you let them. That's pretty good. He gets a bit behind my leg here, but still good effort. So you always make sure you praise for effort. Push him to the outside. Good. That was a nice change of direction. Really good example here, pushing him to the outside so he can keep his head down. But just keep your outside rein, push him with your inside leg, and leave everything else alone. Make sure you take breaks, do nice walks and stuff, and your horse will be happier for it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you like this type of video more than the text and the music, just let me know in the comments below. Make sure you like this video and subscribe if you haven't already.